I have an Edifier S300 tabletop speaker, a D12 bookshelf speaker, as well as a couple of R1280T speakers that are attached to my desktop setup. Critically, for me, they are all able to connect to whatever audio source I use with a 3.5mm audio jack, either directly or using a stereo RCA cable. Obviously, it's a personal preference, despite the Bluetooth option on the S300 and D12, as I think the sound is better and often the volumes can go higher. I have been experimenting making music, predominantly with a Polyend Tracker and a Polyend Mini, as well as a Teenage Engineering EP1320, and have used the S300 and D12 attached directly. The S300 and D12 both have excellent bass, but you can never get enough in my humble opinion, and most of the music I've been making is heavy on drum and bass, so on the basis that you're never too old to own a subwoofer, I convinced myself that my life would only be complete with an Edifier T5 powered subwoofer. Like all my Edifier speakers, the T5 is robust, well made and heavy, weighing in at around 14 kilos. The 8-inch subwoofer driver is in an MDF box covered in wood veneer, which measures 25 by 28 by 30 centimeters and sports 4 rubber feet to stop it bouncing around at full volume. Total power output is 70 watts, and there is a volume and low pass filter knob on the back, which allowed me to tune the T5 relative to the S300 and D12. When turned up too high, the music disappears in deep bass and the room shakes, which, while I'm using for 5 seconds, is not really sustainable. Also on the back is a switch to alter the phase of the T5 relative to your speakers and an on-off switch. The T5 does have a standby mode, which is a bonus as its mains powered. There is an audio in and an audio out connection on the back of the T5 using RCA sockets. The T5 comes with an RCA to RCA connector cable and an RCA to 3.5mm jack cable. Obviously the sound profile and particularly how much bass you want is personal and subjective, but the T5 has raised the game for me. The S300 and D12 are already extremely competent speakers when it comes to bass and a distortion-free experience at whatever volume you want, but the T5 means they really do fill the room. In the T5 quick guide, there are 2 recommended connection options. The D12 has a line out socket, so it is simply a case of plugging the 3.5mm jacked RCA cable into the RCA input of the T5. With this setup, I had use of the full range of both the T5 volume and LPF knobs. For preference, and given the relatively small size of the D12 speakers, I stayed pretty much in the 0 to 50% range with both volume and LPF, with slight adjustments for my optimum sound profile depending on the type of music I was listening to. Edifier also suggests that the audio source can be connected directly to the T5 and then the T5 can output to the speaker. This worked on both the D12 and S300 speakers, but with the T5 volume and all LPF knobs set anywhere above 25%, the music was obliterated by bass noise and the sound lost all cohesion, especially at higher settings. So whilst the T5 can work with the S300, I felt it was somewhat compromised as there is less margin for adjustment and fine tuning. That said, I have the T5 and the S300 set up in the living room with the player necessarily connected first to the T5 and then to the S300, and the sound is superb. The D12 with the T5 connected to the line out is a great combination, allowing a greater range of adjustment as I frequently change music types. The sound samples here are videoed using a GoPro and its inbuilt microphone, so any quality is lost in translation, but hopefully it gives some idea of the quantity of noise the T5 can deliver. So for me, another great purchase from Edifier and a great way to test the bass on the music I'm making, as well as filling the room with that glorious all-encompassing sound that only a subwoofer can give. It's all good.